Hello students, today we are going to learn our science lesson number 4, nutrition in living organism. After doing study of autotrophic plants nutrition, let us learn about study of heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Plants which do not contain chlorophyll are called heterotrophic plants. These plants cannot make their own food. These plants use different strategies to obtain their food. Let us see one by one. First one, symbiotic nutrition. In some cases, two or more than two different types of plants live together to fulfill their needs of nutrition, protection, support with each other help. This type of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. For example, lichen is an symbiosis between algae and fungi. The fungi provide water and minerals as well as shelter to algae. In return, the algae provides food to the fungi. Now let us see about heterotrophic plants. Plants that do not contain chlorophyll are heterotrophic. They grow on or in the other plant body for obtaining the food are called the parasitic plants. For example, Loranthus and Cuscuta. Loranthus in Marathi what we call it? That bandgul, and Cuscuta means yellow wire like structure plants. Now see the parasitic nutrition. In your surrounding you have to see that yellow wire like leafless climber plant growing in that other plants. Tell me the name of that plant. Yes, it is Cuscuta. Parasitic plants are again classified into two types. Classification is depend on the presence or absence of chlorophyll. First one is completely parasitic plants. For example, Cuscuta. Due to absence of chlorophyll, Cuscuta is totally depend on the host plant for their food and water. Second one, partially parasitic plants. For example, Loranthus. Loranthus prepare their own food in the leaf through the process of photosynthesis, but it is depend on host plant for their requirement of water and minerals, and these absorb water and minerals through the hostoria. So it is called partially parasitic plants. Next one is insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants feed upon insect to obtain nutrients. Such plants are generally grow in soil or water that is deficient in nitrogen compounds. For example, Drosera and pitcher plant. They have chlorophyll in their leaf. So the process so they make their own food with the help of photosynthesis. The plant body of Drosera burmani has a flower-like appearance. It grows close to the ground. Its leaves are attractively pink or red in color with hairs at the margin. So droplets of the sticky substance found at the top of the hairs hold the insect firmly and insects gets digested. Do you know the scientist Johannes Burman identified this plant in Sri Lanka in 1737. Hence, the plant is named Drosera burmani after him. Now, see the pitcher plant. Pitcher plant secretes some kinds of secretion at the bottom of the pitcher which resembles and smell like honey. The insect gets attracted by the lead and honey-like secretion. It alights at the mouth of the pitcher, slips and falls into the secretion. So the insect gets trapped inside the pitcher. The enzymes present in the secretion digest nitrogenous material which are then absorbed by the plant. Now next one is the saprophytic plants. Saprophytic plants obtain the food from dead and decaying bodies of other organisms. Some fungi spoil the food. Some are disease causing while some have medicinal properties. Now let us see some useful fungi. Yeast and few mushrooms used in fermentation process and bread making, that yeast is used, and some mushrooms are used as food because they are rich source of iron and vitamins. Now let us study about role of nutrients and effect of their deficiency of plants. First nutrient is nitrogen. Is important component of proteins, chlorophyll and cytoplasm. Nitrogen deficiency resulting retarded or stunted means slow growth and yellowing of, it causes yellowing of leaves. Second one, phosphorus. It plays role in photosynthesis. It converts light energy into chemical energy. Early leaf fall, late flowering and slow growth of roots seen in plants which is suffering from phosphorus deficiency. Third one is potassium. It is necessary for metabolic activities, and the potassium deficiency resulting weak stem, then wilting of leaves, failure to produce carbohydrates. Next one, magnesium. It helps in production of chlorophyll. Due to deficiency of this one, slow and retarded growth and yellowing of leaves seen in plant. Next one, iron. It helps in production of chlorophyll. The deficiency of these results yellowing of plants leaves. Next one, manganese. It is used in production of main plant hormones. Deficiency of these results that retarded growth and spotted leaves. And the last one is zinc. It helps in production of hormones and their intermediates. And deficiency of zinc results that retarded growth and yellowing of leaves of plants. Thank you.